Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last episode, whoa, I'm totally blanking. We figured out that Hifumi had probably faked his death the first time. Not the second time, but the first time that he died. And then when we discovered his body later, he was actually dead. When we discovered the two missing bodies. And that was how he had moved himself. It was because he had actually been dead. Which makes sense to me, and that was something that I had actually thought about, but I couldn't figure out why he would have done that. But if he did kill Taka, then that makes sense, which I think he did. We haven't been completely clear on that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he killed Taka because he had Taka's note that he'd given Taka, or that the killer had given Taka in his pants. Like he didn't want anybody to see it. So yeah. I'm pretty sure he killed Taka. And I have suspicions for who killed Hifumi. Like, I'm pretty sure who killed Hifumi. But we're talking about how maybe they worked together. He worked together with somebody else, but on two separate murders. Like, they were helping each other with their murders, so that they would still get to graduate. Because otherwise, if they were just together on one murder, then the other person wouldn't have anything to gain from that. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened last episode, what we talked about. I have suspicions for who it was that was working with Hifumi and who killed him. But I'm not going to say what those suspicions are. Well, yeah. I'm not going to say exactly who I think it is, but I'm sure you guys have ideas. But anyways, I'm going to get to playing. Also, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I've moved to my webcam, and it's on a tripod now instead of up on my monitor, because I thought it would look better, the angle would be better if it was over here. Let's see.
And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How can anyone be so cruel?
I have suspicions.
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Well, I feel like she wouldn't have said all this stuff if that was what she had done. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Ha ha ha. I get to pick. And I say it's gotta be. I mean, she's the one who got attacked, and Hifumi, if she had been working with Hifumi, then he would have gone through with, he would have gone with the Robo, what's it called? Robo Justice. He would have gone through with that and been acted like he had gotten attacked as well, because yeah, it just makes sense. And then she was the one who saw the attacker every single time. And she's the one who discovered the bodies for the second time. I'm pretty sure. We didn't actually say that. But I think, if I remember correctly, that she was the one who discovered the bodies. Which means that she could have been in that room when the door had been locked and killed Hifumi real quick. And then said that she had discovered the bodies. Yeah, it just all adds up. It's gotta be her.
Here's my answer.
Yeah.
It was Celeste.
Yep.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Also, it makes sense that she would do something like this because she's the ultimate gambler. I think that's what her thing is called, the ultimate gambler. No, I think it's something else, but I can't remember. She gambles a lot, and she's really good. So, and she's very cunning. So it makes sense that she would do something like this.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him.
But you would get to kill him in the end, so.
That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you.
Yep.
Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Yep. What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? Encountering a suspicious individual. The paper hidden in Hifumi's pants, or the screaming? This one, for sure.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Exactly.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Yeah, so they could just... No one had to have seen Robo Justice at all. So, I mean, she could have taken that picture. They definitely acted out that picture. But, the rest of the time, Hiro could have been in the locker. And all Celeste had to say was, oh, I saw the suspicious individual. And that's it. And scream.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
Exactly.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Yep.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
Yep.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
I mean, she's used to bluffing.
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
Yep.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yep. I'm not repeating that. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Wow.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
That's right. Then why don't we split it into two groups? I'll leave the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it?
That's why it was such a weird cry.
It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor. Everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom.
That's why she went with you to the bathroom. I mean, I was like, why did you guys leave the body?
Wait, then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Oh, what did she say? I don't remember. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Me neither.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room.
She said that, like, those guys died.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Yeah.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. But what is he alluding to?
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
No, that's not. Your meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time. Shoot. Okay.
All I said was, we are going to die, just like those guys died.
No. Ah!
Shoot!
I'm gonna die.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must
Let me see what
positively
she says first.
We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay. Okay, so I needed to see what the rest of it. Okay, let me skip
All I
through
said, they must
this.
really enjoying.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
What? What?
Shoot!
Dang it! I died. I died.
I refuse to give up yet.
I don't know what I did wrong. Oh, come on. Okay. Do I just use the Monokuma file?
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay. So that's all he says.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Nope.
Shoot!
What the heck? I don't get it.
All I said was,
Us? Do I have to take
they
us?
must really be enjoying this.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
No. I'm so confused. It's just the fact
All I
that
said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
I don't get it.
Shoot!
Shoot.
Standing around, frightened and confused.
This is irritating me. I don't get why.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here.
Shoot!
I died again. This is irritating.
All going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
Shoot!
I really
All I said, they must really.
I really don't
enjoying
understand.
The sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die here.
Oh, wait,
They must
hold on.
really
I'm gonna
enjoying
try something.
The sight of us. They must be. We are all going to die. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it
Okay.
takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay, so
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here.
nope.
We are going to die, just like those guys died.
This is so irritating.
All I said was they must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused.
Shoot!
Are you fucking kidding me?
All I said, they must really enjoy the sight of us.
What was so strange?
Oh, maybe I need to take this. I don't know if that. Yeah,
All
okay, good, it
I
worked.
said was
Maybe I need to do this and do those guys.
We are all going to die. We are going to die. Just like those.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Jesus.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know,
Yep.
Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
Easy.
How do you
was
explain this
faked.
picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
Hifumi was working with you. You positioned the guy in the costume around Hifumi. And there we go. You got our picture. It's not that hard.
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer.
You took the picture.
In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
He looks like he's being dragged away.
If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
It could just look that way.
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is Hifumi and the suspect had been drinking. Hifumi and the suspect are dancing. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. Yeah.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Okay. Blue. Robo Justice costume? I don't know.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
There we go.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Yep. Oh, what's that face?
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Oh. Oh. That's making me dizzy.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly! You want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He gave everyone nicknames. Looks like I embarrassed myself in front of everyone.
Think back to how Hifumi
How
did he refer to each of us?
He said people's last names?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
A little?
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celesta won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. What? E-handbook?
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
Okay. I'm a little over time. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here actually. We'll just continue this next episode. I'm gonna go ahead and play another episode, so yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please go and check out some other videos that I've done down in the description below. I've done a lot of other games, as well as some music and vlogs if you want to go check those out. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you have not already, and share if you can, because that would be great. Also, I'm on social media if you want to go check that out. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I haven't started streaming on Twitch yet, but I do plan to. Actually, by the time when you see this, I may have already done my first stream. I should have already done my first stream, but I plan to do a lot more in the future as well, so you should go check that out and follow me on Twitch if you want to see me live, because I'll do Let's Plays as well as music. So yeah, you should definitely check that out. And thank you so much for watching. You'll see me next time with another video. Bye bye.